Step up to the mic, calling out the food you love and you don't like. 2 plates enter, 1 wins the fight. Who's got the flavor? Taste buds decides.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Taste Buds podcast.
We've actually got one. We've got a podcast now. Been talking about it for ages.
Long time coming.
So this is the podcast where we debate food. What is better? I have my personal opinions. He has his personal opinions. I'm right. He's wrong. So this is what we're going to debate. We've got a poll out at the minute. Roast dinner versus traditional English breakfast. So we're going to battle it out. We're going to have what's better, what's worse, why it's better, what's not. But we don't decide the winner. You do. We put our polls out in the stories. The votes have been going for a good few hours now. So now we're going to hash it out and decide why I'm right. Let's go to it.
He's not right.
I'm always right. Tell me why you think a roast dinner is actually better than a big breakfast.
First of all, I think we need to define what we class as a roast dinner. But what types of things that I like on a roast dinner, or I think is more in a traditional roast dinner setting, you've got a meat or meat alternative, but we're going traditional, so I'll stick with a meat. So you've got, I'd say, beef, chicken, lamb, pork, turkey, gammon, and then goose. One being a little bit more out there, maybe duck as well. They're the ones that I'd say are like traditional, but straight off the bat there, you got a talking point just about variety of meats, like a lot of different variety of meats.
I'm going to cut in there then. I do love a roast dinner. But
thanks for listening to the podcast, everyone.
I love a roast dinner, but I do love a big breakfast more, because when was the last time you had a roast dinner where afterwards you didn't feel like, I need to lie down, I need to sleep? You never have to have the big breakfast. A big breakfast gets you going. Big breakfast is worldwide. You go on holiday, they've copied it now. You can have it everywhere. You can have it at breakfast. You can have it as a brunch as well. You just add a bit of chips on the side. It's still the same thing. You can even have a cheeky big breakfast for tea. Can't do that with roast dinner. You can't have a roast dinner from 10 o'clock in the morning. You've got to do it from 1 o'clock onwards.
Okay, so what would you say is the traditional things on a breakfast then?
Well, you've got to have your eggs, bacon, sausage,
Okay.
hash brown and beans. That's your traditional.
That's it?
If you want to add your extras, you can have your tomatoes,
Toast?
your mushrooms. Toast, technically, we're a part of it. Bit of facts for everyone. A traditional breakfast started in the 1300s. It's only a bit of meat, some bread, and ale. That's how it started off. It was only the 1500s onwards. That's when they started doing a breakfast.
You can't class that as a traditional English breakfast then. It's nothing like it looks today. It's nothing
because like everything else, it evolves.
Well, you wouldn't class, for example, a Spanish breakfast compared to a traditional English breakfast. You're arguing traditional English breakfast has to closely resemble what people class.
You have a Spanish breakfast. Do you know what's on top of it? English breakfast. Everywhere you go.
Yeah. But you've got to clarify what you think or know is a traditional English breakfast. What does that look like for you? Name the items now.
Well, place near me, the White Lion. 3 sausages, 3 poached eggs, or sunny side up eggs. Love them both. Hash browns, loads of beans, toast, hash browns. Did I say hash browns twice? Do you know why? Because it's so good. I made it twice.
So we got sausages, egg, bacon. Type of bacon.
I have a raw. Bacon's bacon. Bacon's goat. Bacon's up there.
Gotta disagree with that.
It's up there with sausages, but who has a sausage butty on bacon butty? Bacon butty smells so much better. So when do you ever smell sausage and go, that smells good?
No,
bacon travels.
I'm disagreeing on that there's not different types of bacon. Bacon is not just bacon. Like if you go to I'll be very specific about this. I'm very passionate about my bacon. So if you go to Aldi, for example, and I can't remember what the bacon's called, but they sell like a really big pack, really thick, juicy bacon. It's got the really big
thick cut bacon.
Ooh. But it's
leather.
It's like, you go to Asda or something like that, and you'll see quote unquote thick cut bacon. That's not thick cut bacon. That is a poor representation of thick cut bacon.
So but one item doesn't define a breakfast.
No, but I am asking to clarify exactly what's on your breakfast.
And I've told you, they're the key ingredients.
Okay, what type of sausage?
Sausage doesn't matter as long as
there's a big difference there.
it's not sausage.
There is.
You can go
Okay.
anywhere around the country, you get sausage. Breakfast is any type of sausage, any type of bacon, eggs, any way you want it. It could be scrambled, it could be fried, it could be poached, it could be boiled. It's still part of the breakfast family. Hash browns, standard. You can get tinned tomatoes or beans. You can get mushrooms if you're dirty. I don't like mushrooms, but you can get hash browns, again, named them twice. You can have toast. Normally, you get a pot of tea or coffee. That's a bonus. What you get with a roast dinner? Do you know how hard it is to make a roast dinner? Everyone's going to be cooked right at timed. If one bit of item's cold, it's shit. If you put it in a microwave, shit. It needs to be all cooked perfectly. The pots, you got to wash pads in between every time. It's too much. It's not good. It's easier to mess up a roast dinner than it is to create one.
It's funny you say that because that was going to be my plus points for a roast dinner.
It's
Like you can a little bit easier to do with the breakfast, and I'm not saying that I'm not having that like just because something's easier it's better. If a roast dinner done to perfection is absolutely incredible. Like you've got to have the beef cooked really tender. You've got to have.
Oh, that's just chewy.
You can
90% of the time.
as with anything, you can have
90% of the time, chewy.
well, I don't know where you're getting your roast dinner.
Like your Christmas dinner, tradition. Everyone loves a Christmas dinner. The pressure of making a perfect Christmas dinner. Is it always perfect? No. Is the turkey always dry? Yeah. And you always have to put these little things on it, like sausage meat. Pigs and blanket, you have to get them. You don't have to. I know this is a Christmas dinner, but we're talking about traditional.
It's close enough.
Yeah. But it's on your meat as well. Most of the meats of what you just mentioned. Who has pork? Pork's crap. It's turkey's your Christmas.
You're arguing for English breakfast, and one of the main ingredients of that is sausage and bacon, and they're both pork.
But in a format, doesn't matter about that. It's the way it's cooked. You're doing it straight off the bone, aren't you?
Yeah, traditionally.
There you go.
And I personally, I wouldn't have pork on mine, but my point is that you've got a variety of different meats you can have, and you can mix them together.
Yours is messy as well. How many times do you over pour the gravy and it starts peeling off your plate? It's disgusting. It's all over everywhere.
I'm gonna come to the gravy point at the end, but I'll discuss gravy now. Gravy is like arguably one of the greatest things ever invented.
I reckon if you put it up item to item from your traditional to my traditional, I said I'll wipe the floor with you.
No chance.
What's the best thing on a roast dinner?
In my opinion, crispy but soft in the center roast potatoes. Can't beat them.
How often do you get them? You eat out, you get hard shell potatoes,
Well, there's
it's next to no potato inside. It's not consistent.
There's a difference, I think, in terms of like when you're talking about, eating out versus eating in. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of this is a whole other podcast point to talk about another day. But I think like sort of eating out specifically in the UK has really gone downhill. A lot of it, like it's all chains now. It's all sort of pre-cooked beforehand, and they just warm it up.
Well, that's where you put your shit foods. You've actually got a thing called, where's it you get your roast dinners from now? Toby Carberry. They've got a Toby Carberry did his do roast dinners, and it's consistently shit in there. You have a man giving you the thinnest slice of meat and go, would you like another? And when you say, can I have a bit more? They look like you just pissed on the kids.
Okay,
it's disgusting.
Okay, well, for English...
Gravy's always wet in there.
For English breakfast, then, you're talking about, like you mentioned, where the most popular place is to get roast dinner. The most popular place to get full English is probably Wetherspoons.
I disagree.
What is the most popular then?
Any pub. Any pub.
Not every pub does it.
McDonald's does it.
That's not a pub.
Doesn't matter. Everywhere does a big breakfast.
And it's also
everywhere does a breakfast.
You're not having McDonald's being a traditional English breakfast.
I'm not saying traditional, but they do breakfast. Everyone does breakfast.
It's barely even food.
You're
arguing for a traditional English breakfast.
I know, but I'm talking about breakfast in general now. Or the breakfast contains sausage, egg, bacon. They'll do it.
If you're talking like whether those things are actually even closely resemble those things is different, but You can't put if you're going to put Mackies in the the English breakfast category, then you may as well put cereal in there.
I'm sure you can get cereal some places. But if you're going head to head, so my sausages will overpower your shitty roast potatoes. They're hard on the outside.
What's called my roast potato shit?
Hard on the outside, hardly, like, not even properly cooked in the middle. That's what I normally get if you go to Toby Carvery or anywhere around there. Shout out to Toby Carvery though, we do like you.
Come sponsor us.
Bacon.
I'm gonna go back to your point on that, because I think you need to preference this sort of like whole argument with saying, like, we're talking about like the creme de la creme of this, like the peak it can be. So like you're talking about the best English breakfast, wherever you think that's from, and I'm talking about the best roast dinner.
The best I've had. Some people think less is more. I think more's more. I want loads. I want my plate big. I want loads. I want loads of everything. So if I'm full, I can leave it. I don't want to eat a breakfast and still be hungry. So I have to have the White Lion breakfast: 3 sausages, 3 poached eggs, hash browns, lots of bacon. I think it's like 4 bacon. You get 4 slices of toast, a pot of tea. You get tomato, mushrooms, beans. I always leave the mushrooms off. But that is, for me, a big breakfast. You go to some places, you get 1 sausage, 1 egg, 1 bacon, bit of beans, a tomato.
Okay, so you're putting forward that you think that the White Lion, to use that
It's
example,
good.
come sponsor us, is the best that you can have.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will say that I'll use the best one I can think of, because I don't traditionally eat out that much for like roast dinners and stuff, because I don't find a place that you can actually find that close to where I live. My roast dinner that I cooked, or Christmas dinner, but it had everything that a roast dinner would have.
That no one's eaten.
There was
I'm told to
12
tell
people in the house that ate it.
No one ate it.
I ate it, and I'm arguing the
No
point.
one would beat my mum's big breakfast though. I can always say that. My mum's big breakfast is the best.
So I'll agree that maybe your mum has the best breakfast, right? But my roast dinner would be.
Do you know what we haven't talked about? Black pudding.
Oh,
black pudding is a killer.
It's the worst thing
It's
ever.
the best. It tastes the best if you cook it right. Too charred, not the best. If you cook it just that little bit, it's so good. It'll beat anything. It'll beat your pigs and blankets. It's a unique thing on a breakfast.
Don't you disparage the good name of pigs and blankets.
In Scotland, they have white pudding.
Is that different than haggis?
I think it's different, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's mine.
I tried haggis once. It was probably one of the worst things I've ever tried, but that's just my personal opinion.
See, we can even compare, like, your Christmas time. You can get like a Christmas wrap, which is like technically a Christmas dinner in a Yorkshire pudding wrap. But look, for years we've had breakfast butties, breakfast bombs, breakfast burritos. You go abroad, you hardly get roast dinners, and you get a roast dinner, you don't get a traditional roast dinner. You get shit on a plate. Breakfast, iconic everywhere. They're iconic. They're never the same. They might change one sausage from like a Richmond's to their own style, but it stays the same, and you'd always get a consistently good breakfast.
I definitely disagree with a consistently good breakfast. Like if anything, I'd argue it's really hard to find a good breakfast abroad.
Well,
if you go to pretty much anywhere on the, sort of in Europe, you're getting the really weird tasting sort of aftertaste bacon that, compared to traditional English bacon, just doesn't taste like the right bacon. You get those like kind of hot dog sausages where they don't, like I would put on that tier in terms of a breakfast. You have those weird hot dog sausages. Like I wouldn't even put it on the list, but let's put it right at the bottom of the list. And then you've got sort of Richmond's just above it, being like, only about 40% pork. And then you've got like your traditional English breakfast sausage that's like 90% pork. That's why I asked you the question about sausages before.
Well, depends. If you're going to do it right, if I'm cooking a roast dinner now, I'll go to my local Taylor's farm. That's 100% pork sausages. Shout out to Taylor's. Then you can get some freshly picked whole free range eggs, large ones, some of them. Get the bacon from there as well. Big fat medallions, hardly any fat on it, because no one likes the fat. You can get everything from one store in Taylor's.
Sorry, do you not have the fat on bacon?
I cut it off.
Wow. And you're trying to argue for an English breakfast?
I'm looking for health. Say, listen, talk about your stuff. Your stuff's rubbish. How dry is your stuffing? Stuffing.
Hard for me to comment on. Hard for me to hard for me to comment on stuffing personally because I don't like stuffing. But you know,
right.
Loads of other people.
What I'm going to say about mine is everything you get on my breakfast is always edible, unless yours is actually cooked all to the right temperature. It's unedible. Like if you leave your,
but we're not. We can't. We have to talk about the best roast dinner versus the best breakfast. So like, forget about how long it takes. If anything, it's a work of art. A roast dinner, you know, it tastes absolutely lovely. So I'm talking, you know, the best roast potatoes, some of the best mash on there, even some new potatoes if you want that. Maybe some chips. Arguable about whether you want to put that on a roast dinner or not. You know, you've got carrot and swede, green beans, roasted carrots. A bit of stuffing if you like that.
Roasted carrots.
Really rich beef gravy drizzled all over it.
Like water.
Except a little bit on the lamb where you've got a little bit of mint sauce on the lamb or apple sauce if that's what you like.
No one has roasted carrots. They have carrot and turnip. That's what they mix it in.
First of all, it's a roast dinner. And you should, if anything, have roasted carrots on it. Maybe you want to have carrot and swede mashed and you boil that, but you should have.
Do you know what? Nobody in the world has ever said after a night out from drinking, you're like, oh, I could just eat a roast dinner, you know. No one ever in the world said that. They get up and go, oh, I could just fancy a big breakfast, you know. That'll sort me out for the day. Everyone get up, night out, you'll get up, go and get something to eat, and they're like, I feel so much better now. I've eaten, and that's hit the spot. No one would get up and say, oh, I'm craving a roast dinner. I need a roast dinner now. After a night out. Never, ever in the world, no one's ever said that.
Definitely disagree with that. I think there's loads of people out there, me included, back when I used to drink, that would say, I wake up on a Sunday.
Only on Sunday. So if you go out drinking on a Friday and a Saturday morning, you go, oh, craving that roast dinner on Sunday. Not like, I need something now to cleanse me. A big breakfast is a hangover cure, worldwide, known, renowned. You have a big breakfast, it cures you.
Food is a hangover cure in general. Well, not a cure. But
so when you wake up in the morning, what do you eat?
I'd
breakfast.
Say, if you let me argue my point, right?
Big breakfast.
Right. So I'd say a lot of people go out on a Saturday night just because people traditionally tend to have roast dinners on a Sunday. So I'm using it as an example. Not wrong if you want to have it on a Saturday as well.
One day occasion.
Let me argue my point, right? So you get up on a Sunday, you've been out on a heavy night before, it's 11 o'clock, and you know, you go down, you smell the roast dinner's already on, you're really looking forward to it. Maybe because it's, you know, the morning time and the roast dinner's on, it's being cooked, you might have a little bit of toast.
Are you cooking this roast dinner, by the way? You just got up out of bed.
Doesn't matter.
It's just
anyone's cooking this roast dinner. But I'm really, really looking forward to that roast dinner, that thing that I'm waking up on there and I'm thinking, I don't want a big breakfast now because I don't want to spoil my roast dinner. That
cost-effective meal. Important. It costs more to make the meal compared to a big breakfast, and a big breakfast will fill you up. You'll fill you up to a point where you're like, I feel good about myself now. I can go about my day. You have a roast dinner. What fills you up? You're like, I'm in a food coma. I need to lie down. I need to sleep. You know, you can't like, oh, that hit the spot now. I'm going to go out now and go about my day. It takes you about 2 hours to get rid of all the food what's just sat there. And you're like, I don't fancy this now. That's why you don't, when you're abroad, you never get roast dinners.
You don't get roast dinners abroad because they don't traditionally serve roast dinners abroad?
Because they can't do it because it's such a shit food. They'll mess up a roast dinner easier than making a great one. That's why, but a breakfast, anywhere you go around the world, you can get one.
So let's say Spain, just to use a generic example. So you think if you went over to Spain and you asked Spanish restaurant owner, hello, Spanish restaurant owner, why don't you make roast dinners? He would say, because it's too difficult.
He'll say, no one will eat it. Nobody want it. Nobody wants it. They're full off me big breakfast. Do you know why? Because we serve this item. We'll do bacon butties, sausage butties, egg butties. Or someone like egg butties around there?
Yeah.
Of course. You know why? British. You love it. Partner break breakfast at 3. But then you go into your full.
It's
So you
also
have
very American.
a small amount. You'll have a small breakfast, a medium, a large, an extra large. You can have all these extras to it, and it'll be even better depending on how hungry you are. And afterwards, you never go, oh, I feel sick. I shouldn't have ate that much. No one's ever said that after a breakfast. They go about the day and go, that's filled me up for the day. It stops you from snacking. You feel good. The protein and everything off your bacon and stuff fills you up for the day.
That was going to be one of my negative points towards, there's absolutely no. So let's talk about the health aspect. There's absolutely no antioxidants at all in a English breakfast compared to absolutely loads being in roast dinner. You've got potato, which is full of fiber. You've got green beans, broccoli in particular, cauliflower, full of general antioxidants and fiber itself. It's much healthier than an English breakfast.
A breakfast is a multiple of fat, carbs, and protein.
It's mostly protein and fat. There's not actually that much carb in it. You've got carbs. What you mentioned before, you've got carbs in what? Hash brown and toast. That's pretty much it from what you mentioned before.
Yeah, there's some good and bad things about both, but yours could be good, but it's easier to mess up. Can't all the time. Easy to mess up.
Yeah.
If you don't cook
first
that,
of all, yours is not impossible to mess up.
that's what I'm saying.
But
It's such
also,
a delicacy. Anyone can make it, and it'll be great.
No, it won't. It might be okay, generally, but it doesn't mean that you can make it great.
You mess up one item in yours. If your chicken, anything undercooked, can't use it.
Okay. You cook
Gravy.
it perfectly, and it's far better than your little shitty breakfast.
Your gravy, unless it's thick, it's like water. You can't use it, and it'll just be pouring off the plate. Your Yorkshire puddings, you leave it in 1 or 2 minutes too much. They're too hard and crispy. You can't get that texture where it's meant to be slightly crisp on the rim and then soft all throughout the middle. I always put gravy in them. It's like a little moist maker. And then when my food's drying out, I just pour the gravy out the Yorkshire puddings. But if it's too hard, you try and bite it. You
That
can't
sounds
do it.
lovely. Maybe I should just sit back and let you make the argument for me, to be fair.
Well, I would, but the gravy's like water and makes it all dead soft and falls apart as soon as you pick it up.
You've just described how lovely it is when you get it right, though. That's a great point.
I know, but it's 1 out of 10 you get a good roast dinner right, unless my mama makes it.
Well, let's go around for your mama's roast dinner then, and then quick chat about that one.
I've been asking for months. She doesn't do it anymore.
Is that because it's too hard?
No, costs a fortune now. Costs a living getting all these stuff in.
I think if you put all the items that you said on a breakfast, it's probably going to be about the same cost.
Oh no, you get a pack of Richmond sausages, say £2.
If you get a pack of
eggs,
Richmond sausages, you can stop having this debate now because they are not a traditional English food. They're barely even pork. They're less pork than they are whatever else they put in there. It's less than 50% pork.
Well,
And that's why they're cheap.
and delicious.
Richmond sausages are not delicious.
That's why everyone's boycotting breakfasts. No. The only thing I'll give it to you is yours is very expensive. Do you know how much it is for you to go out for a Christmas dinner on Christmas Day? It's about £200 a head.
Well, first of all, it's
just for the very expensive meal you're doing.
First of all, it's not £200 a head. And second of all, yeah, you're talking about like going out on Christmas Day. Going out for a full English breakfast on Christmas Day is more expensive than any other day as well.
Do you know why people go out for a Christmas Day, for a Christmas dinner?
Because they don't want to cook it themselves.
Why? Because they're difficult to make. Unless you have it every time, it's not consistent.
I'm not having laziness as an
Everything
argument.
has to be hot and cooked correctly. You have to wash your pans in between to do ready for the next ones, and you can't do it because there's too much.
Your favourite food is also going out and cooking it? Is that because you can't be bothered cooking it at home? Because that's the same argument.
I'm too busy to cook food.
Oh, okay. That's doing podcasts, is it?
Overcooking vegetables happens an awful lot as well.
You can't just keep going, this meal's difficult to cook. A lot of meals that aren't outside, just put it in an air fryer or whack it in a frying pan for 10 minutes and pull it out is really hard to cook. Like, or harder than the most simplest thing that you can cook. But it being difficult to cook isn't an argument for saying when you get it right, and if you do it often enough, you will get it right, or you find somewhere that you can buy it from often enough and get it right, it will be perfect. And it will be far better than an English breakfast. End of story.
I would say I've had more better big breakfasts than I have roast dinners.
Yeah.
I've had more positives
you-
on a roast for breakfast than I have a roast dinner.
That's an argument about the quality of the places that you
Even
visit.
at home, I'll prefer at home. I've had more nicer big breakfasts at home than I have had nicer roast dinners. And that's not just my home, that's any homes I've been at. And eating out, that's even worse. They can't consist of having a good meal. You can't cook it consistently.
Okay, so does that mean that, like, basically on that note, anything that you have out that isn't the simplest thing ever to cook is always bad?
You can probably cook a full breakfast in one pan. That's how good it is.
Depends what you put in there, but yeah, potentially.
You can cook everything in one pan. That's why it always comes out the same heat, all consistent. You make a roast dinner, go straight under a hot plate to warm it up because everything else has went cold because everything's been cooked at different times. It's not consistent. That's why a big breakfast is better. It always comes out hot, fresh, where a dinner is cooked, stored, then it's just put on a plate, put some hot gravy on it. You either put it in the microwave or they put it on the hot plate for 5 minutes. Everyone sat there eating and you're like, where's mine? It's like, these are still cold. This there. Toby Carver, you go there as well. Everything's meant to be coming out fresh. Imagine going there and you're
Toby Carver is not an example of the best roast dinner.
It's the only place where actually says we do roast dinners every day. That's where you can go for a roast every day. Sundays are very popular, even though
where you can do that.
go in a queue, you've got your plate with either boiling hot or freezing cold, and you go.
You've
got loads of veg. You come to potatoes, no potatoes left.
To use an example of around here, right? The Plough Inn. It's a carvery.
Which one's that?
It's in Latham.
Is that the one on the T junction?
Yeah, the one
on the corner.
Yes,
Terrible place.
it's lovely.
It's horrible. No offense to the Plough. Last time I was there, I waited 40 minutes for food. Never brought
They
it.
do a carvery where you can just go up and save yourself.
Oh yeah, that's where the man goes. Do you want a slice of meat? Yeah, it's the thinnest slice. Kind of a bit more. And they go, it's an extra £1 if you want more. I should have more than one slice. So I have to, every time I've went, I say, can I have 3 slices of meat, please? One of each. And that's the only time I can get more without paying for more. I shouldn't have to pay for more. At home, I get like 4 or 5 slices of meat. Off a chicken, beef, whatever.
Yeah, because you aren't paying for the on cost of everything else. It's natural that
that's before I pay
if you're
£2 for
the same argument we said for a breakfast. If you go and order a breakfast, and you can't just say on a breakfast, oh, the big breakfast that you do at X place that you're at does, 2 sausages and 2 bacon. Can I please have 4 sausages and 4 bacon? They're not going to turn around and go, sure, no problem. This is now an all you can eat. They charge you more for it. So if you want to go out,
wafer thin slices of meat, of
lovely
turkey,
slices of meat,
wafer thin. You could do that. Done. You're gone. You can't. How can you have one slice of meat to fill a full meal? You can't. Pigs and blankets, is that traditional? Should that be on a normal plate? Yeah. So why'd you have to pay £2.50 for pigs and blankets? You get 2.
Because it's
the
more things that you eat, the more expensive it is to make it.
No, but it's
the same with the breakfast.
It should be on your plate.
If you go into a breakfast place that does breakfasts, there's categorizations of what is a breakfast, and there's like a £9, mega breakfast
surcharge,
a £7 big breakfast, a £5 standard breakfast.
Every restaurant you go to, you can have a small or large.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
So you say if you want a small one, you can have a large one.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact I can say, can I have an extra? You can have your mushrooms. Go and chuck them away. Just give me an extra sausage instead.
Yeah, so you can swap things out.
Right. I'll say, right then. So if I don't have mash on it, all you can eat, can I have another slice of meat? You don't like giving the meat away, even though at the end of the day,
because it's the most expensive thing there, and they don't chuck all of it.
Expensive again. It's not expensive for a big breakfast.
It is expensive for a big breakfast.
It's not. It's cheap. You can make a big breakfast for about a tenner at most for a big breakfast.
Make it at home.
No, in a restaurant. It'd probably be cheaper in a restaurant because they buy bulk. But if I was buying a home, I can make a big breakfast for my family for a tenner.
Okay.
And it'll be
quality. For the whole family.
For the whole family, it'll be quality.
Okay.
And you could make a roast dinner for that.
You could make a version of a roast dinner.
A version.
Well, you could make a version. You just argue that Richmond sausages are good.
I know for a fact Richmond sausages are good.
They're terrible.
They are the best sausages.
You think Richmond are the best sausages?
Right, if Richmond aren't good, why are they still about?
Because they're cheap.
No, not just because they're cheap. People, if they were cheap
Never get
and nasty
from Richmond.
if nobody would eat Richmonds because they're cheap and nasty, Why are they still about? Why are they still popular? Why are they always selling them?
Okay, well, reverse argument to that. Why do other sausages exist? Why does 90 or 100% pork sausages exist?
Some people like the thick ones, some like people the thin ones, some people like the big long ones, some people like the little short ones, the little chipolatas. Cumberland sausages, there's some variation of sausages, what people would want on the breakfast. I know if you went to Morrison's, shout out to Morrison's, you could get a sausage barm, and they would only use a Cumberland sausage.
Shout out to Morrison's.
Shout out to Morrison's.
Morrison's your favourite supermarket? Or?
No, it's not, but I know that's the only time I've ever had one. If you want to send some Cumberland sausages, send them my way. But they wouldn't put a sausage, slice it in half and put it on. They put a Cumberland sausage on because it fills out the bun. That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to, I don't even know how to compare that because it's so unique. You can go to any shop, not even a cafe, you can go to a deli and they'll serve sausage and egg, bacon. They'll serve like a breakfast sandwich. You can't do nothing. We've overpowered. We're breakfast, we're dinner, and we're tea. We can conquer all. You're a Sunday at best, and maybe holidays. You get like 7 days a year where you have a roast on holidays, and then you have the Sundays, and the people are like, I can't be arsed making it. I have to go out and buy the ingredients. You never have ingredients in to make a roast in on a whim. You can probably look in your fridge and your freezer and go, I've got some eggs, we've got tins of beans, oh look, a sausage and bacon. We can make a roast out of that. That's the core items. You can't go into your house at home now and say, I can make a roast with everything I've got in my cupboards. Wait, but you can make a breakfast more than you can make a roast.
I definitely could.
What? Because you know you've done shopping?
No, because like we buy, fresh vegetables all the time. We buy.
What's your core items then?
On a roast dinner?
Yeah.
So I'd say, for me personally, I'd like to have at least 2 different types of meat. That's just a me personal thing, to have. I think you've got to have beef on there, like a lovely, like really nice,
thick and chewy.
Yeah, no, thick, but not as
You'd have to eat it with something to wash it down because it's that thick.
No.
Like undercooked.
No, I'm talking the perfect beef.
Right. Do you want to tell me?
You asked me what I want on there, so yeah. And then probably a little bit of lamb. I do love a little bit of lamb. A little bit of mint sauce and a lamb. Can't beat it. Right? So they're the two that I have. Special shout out to gammon.
Gammon's too
salty. If I had to pick a third one on there, it would be gammon. The saltiness of the gammon is up to the person who either prepares the gammon or the preference after it's been prepared. But if you get an unsmoked, some people like smoked, some people don't. I don't particularly like it, but a lot of people do. You can't really do that with anything on a breakfast. But yeah, you've got to have that, love that. Those are the 3 meats that I would have. You can salt it how much you want. Right, everyone, the results are in. And we've done it across 3 platforms. Each platform had different votes. So we'll start with Facebook. So on Facebook, the Big Breakfast was the most popular. On TikTok, it was dead even, 50-50, straight down the middle. On Instagram, it favoured roast dinners. What we've done with that is added them all together, and then the results are, with the winning vote at 54%, so just over, was roast dinner. So I do take the first episode.
Lies.
The people aren't wrong, Steve. The people decide.
I don't think that people understand.
The people don't understand, Steve. The people agree with Dan.
Well, I'll eat the sour grapes. That's what I'll say.
Join us next time where we're going to be debating McDonald's versus Burger King.
We'll talk about all our favourite foods, what I like personally, what Dan likes personally, the pros and the cons, what I think is disgusting about Burger King and what he thinks is disgusting about McDonald's. But we all have our preferences, but we want to hear what you think. So keep voting. Give us your comments. We want to hear what your experience is like and what you like it and why you don't like it. We'll be posting this video on YouTube. We'll look out for the reels. We'll be posting on TikTok and Instagram. But if you do like it and you want to see more of those, leave us a review. If it's a rubbish review, don't post it. It's fine. We only want positive thoughts. It's all love here, isn't it?
Yeah. And any feedback that you guys have as well about how it went, any changes that you would like to see is implemented, your feedback's always welcome.
And I'm stuck with eating sour grapes. This is the time when we're shouting out our local businesses to help the community. We have got T&M Cleaning. the local cleaners around the local areas. They do travel around. Dan, do you want to tell a bit more about them?
Yeah, so T&M Cleaning, it's local to the Skelmersdale area, and they offer reliable and meticulous cleaning services, which are backed by excellent customer reviews. They're fully insured and DBS checked for your peace of mind.
You can find them on our page. Do you like all of our pages? They're highly interactive with us on the likes and comments, and so just keep looking out for them. Give them a call. If you need a cleaner, they're the ones you want. And I've been Stephen.
And I've been Dan.
And we've been Taste Buds. See you next time.
Yeah. Taste buds, step up to the mic. Calling out the food you love and you don't like. 2 plates enter, 1 wins the fight. Who's got the flavor? Taste buds decides.